please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Good afternoon. Welcome to a fresh new edition of MIDCAP Radar, and the market is in a happy situation. One must say we are up almost 100 points on the Nifty, not almost now, 101 points to be precise, 10,483, which means that from yesterday's low, the Nifty is up almost a full 150 odd points. So this is a good looking screen as we finish off the week. It's not been so good the last few days, but I mean, you know, this is a pretty good one. With me is Sonia. Sonia, hi. Afternoon.
Hi, Prashant. After the kind of volatility we've been through this last fortnight, we'll take this century on the Nifty with both hands, right? I mean, it's something that we haven't seen for a while now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, what the only thing is, people will wonder whether now, I mean, this is it. So you get in now, or is it already too late because you'll get another dip? I mean, I think those are very natural kind of questions to ask, and nobody will, I think one will only be wiser in hindsight, because remember, you're not just, I mean, if you're not already in, you've watched this market move up slowly through the course of the day till this point. It's not just today, you're basically off, as I said, you're up about 150 odd points or so. So you've got to sort of decide what are you really playing for. Is there, you know, a little bit more meaningful upside left, or you know, you maybe wait for the next turn, by which I mean the market maybe gets sold into and then you come in at some point. But we'll come to some of them in a bit. Ashwani Gujral is with us as always on the top of the show. Ashwani, when we last spoke at 11:30, and basically I spoke to you at 11:30, the market is up 50 points from that level. You were saying that the market, I mean, then you were saying the market should have been up a lot more. We are now up 100 points. So is this the real deal?
See, you are seeing a spectacular rally because you saw a spectacular fall. So that being said, this is the best rally I have seen in the last 1 year, because all of last year there was nobody on the other side. I would think there are still people short, and on such a day, the last couple of hours tends to see a lot more short covering. So maybe, you know, you could close at the highs of the day. Nifty could gain another 50, Bank Nifty could gain another 200. Is this the real thing? Are we going to cross 11,000? That, you know, possibly time will tell, and you probably don't need to know right now. But once we start crossing, say, 10,600, 650, then that would be clear. For the moment, we are looking at life till 10,600. But the Bank Nifty could have a very sharp pullback, given that, you know, it came down on fairly strong news, and you know, even FIIs are probably short on some of the banks. So out there, you know, 25, 500, 700, that is possible. So it could be a multi-day pullback, and you know, one that is tradable and could last a little bit. Having said that, you know, for the moment, TVS Motors is a buy with a stop of 650, target of 675. Jindal Poly is a buy with a stop of 350, target of 371. And M&M Financial is a buy with a stop of 435, target of 460.
Go on, Sonia, go on.
No, I was just asking about, yeah, TVS Motor was one stock that you spoke about, Ashwani, 5.5% higher now. Any of the mid-cap IT names that look attractive? Mindtree is one that suddenly surged. Names like First Source are at 52-week highs. And, you know, this is a space that everyone's in general been bullish on. Anything there?
See, today at some point, IT index went into the negative, I think on Prashant's earlier show, and I said that you need to buy into these stocks. So they continue on their uptrend, but today you will get the bigger gains on banks, on metals, wherever the short positions are big. So if you have this sort of pullback rally, the initial phase will be, you know, big gains on stocks which are already bashed up. IT kind of will take backseat because nobody is short on IT anymore. So that way, while, you know, longer term trades continue on IT, but the next 2, 3, 4 sessions could belong to stocks which have come down sharply.
Okay, just a quick point, Ashwani. I mean, you know, many would believe that this is just a pullback. That's just, I mean, as you said, you don't have to take that call right now. Let's get past 10,650 on the Nifty and then we decide. But for those who are saying, well, this is just a pullback and the better trade now is to wait for those levels and then maybe sell. I mean, how would you look at that kind of mind frame?
Well, when we get there, we'll know. Basically, you know, the most positive thing is that the US and the global markets have moved on from those high bond yield story, because, you know, it's all about fund flow. And in case, you know, markets have moved beyond that inflation scare, then there is a, you know, multi-day rally even possible on global markets. And that way, because we are oversold, we have shorts, etc., 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 we could also move in step. Now, it all depends on what kind of news flow comes in at 10,600, 650. But given the amount of shorts right now, if you have to be in, be long, you know, whether we'll come down again, that, you know, we'll have to see at 10,600.
Okay, fair enough. That's a fair point. Thanks, Ashwani, for joining us. For now, this market is just soaring away. 330 points higher now on the Sensex, and the Nifty is not giving up on that that century that it hit. So let's take some time out from tracking the markets and talk about some big stories. This is a CNBC TV18 exclusive. We've been on top of the JP Infra asset sales story for a while now. More details coming in. CNBC TV18 learns that now 10 bidders are being evaluated for JP Infra. Manisha Natarajan joins in. She gets us all the details. Manisha, over to you.
That's right. 10 are being evaluated. In fact, the evaluation has been divided into two parts. KPMG is looking at the financial evaluations of the 10 bids that have come in, and there is a legal evaluation also ongoing as we speak. What's important to remember is that not all 10 bids have come for all the assets. In fact, there have been some bids which have come only for select assets. On Monday, when the COC meets, what is going to be decided is whether sum of parts is bigger than actually selling out the assets as a whole. There will be negotiations with bidders who have bid for the entire assets, asking them to up their prices for if they feel that individual assets have got better bids. So that's what we hear, but we're keeping a close track on this matter. The other aspect of it, which is also interesting to learn, there is some sort of a pressure on the COC and the bankers to resolve this very quickly. Buyers have been waiting since October for some sort of resolution. Supreme Court has cancelled three hearings on the JP matter this month, and the next hearing is on March 9th. In fact, some of the buyers from 1st February have stopped paying EMIs, protesting that it is becoming a big burden to them. And we now learn that lenders have asked JP Infratech to issue letters to buyers cancelling their allotment or threatening to cancel that allotment, and we are in possession of some of these letters. So I think an early resolution is required on this, and the IRP professional is very aware of that fact. So Monday we will see some big action on it.
Manisha, thanks very much for that. Stocks are higher. The JP Infra, Jaiprakash Associates, essentially the group stocks are rising on the back of essentially what are bids. What will be important to consider though is what are they offering? What are the bids really offering? Is it just making good the lenders? What about home buyers? Remember, this entire thing has got a legal angle with the Supreme Court hearing the matter as well, and that is, it's all kind of interrelated. One doesn't know whether this can go forward without the home buyers' sort of concerns being addressed, which is essentially they want flats. So we'll have to keep our fingers crossed on this one. For now, the market seems to be excited that there is more than a fair share of interest coming in from bidders for the JP assets. Let's move on. After seizing jewelry and precious stones worth more than 5,000 crores from Mehul Choksi and Nirav Modi group of companies, sources tell us that the Enforcement Directorate has lined up more assets to be attached. Utkarsh Chaturvedi is now joining in on this news flow. Utkarsh, take it away.
So Prashant, as you rightly said, that the gems, jewelry and precious stones worth around 5,800 rupees have been seized, and every day Enforcement Directorate is really raiding locations across the country to get more and more assets. But as we reported earlier, that Enforcement Directorate wants to seize something to the tune of 11,000 crores because they want to get all the money which has been lost in these transactions to be protected. So what we're picking up now is that the properties of Mehul Choksi and Nirav Modi Modi are on the radar of Enforcement Directorate. We have the list of some of the properties they have listed out. So 6 flats in Samudra Mahal, which is in Worli, belongs to Nirav Modi, are on the eyes of Enforcement Directorate. 1 flat in Grosvenor House is also what Enforcement Directorate is looking at. 1 SEZ property in Jaipur of Mehul Choksi can be seized by Enforcement Directorate, and the BKC office of Mehul Choksi is also one which has been identified by the Enforcement Directorate. Now remember that apart from that, there are some properties in Surat and Nashik, tier 2 and tier 3 cities also, which the Enforcement Directorate is eyeing, and what they're expecting is to get somewhere around 1,000 to 1,500 crore rupees from all these assets, the valuation of these assets. Now obviously these are very early assumptions of the monetary value of all of these assets, but as I said, that what ED is looking at really is to complete the seizures to the tune of somewhere around 10,000, 11,000 crores. So all the money which has been lost in this transaction should come back. We can see these seizures done by ED. Either they'll start today or tomorrow. They have already identified the properties and they will be just going to these properties and putting out the notice of attachments.
Okay, things going from bad to worse for Nirav Modi and co. But thanks so much for that, Utkarsh. Well, Sadbhav, engineering is one stock on our radar right now. The company has been declared a successful bidder, L1, lowest bidder by the National Highway Authorities of India for a project, I think to the tune of about 300 crores or so. It's turning out to be quite a good day for the markets. A lot of the beaten down stocks over the last 6 to 12 months are seeing a pickup now. So, for example, Talwarkar's from the broader markets is now up almost about 7% and you also have something like a Kitex Garments that's up almost about 7-8%. So, these are stocks that are picking up from the lows that they hit over the last 3 to 6 months or so. But moving on, a joint study by the global consultancy firm McKinsey and the Indian Pharmaceutical Alliance says that there has been a visible decline in the volume of action being taken by the US FDA against Indian drug firms, suggesting improvement in the quality systems. So that's good news. However, the former Deputy Commissioner of the US FDA, Howard Sklamberg, says that while qualitatively there has been an improvement in data integrity issues, counting share of warning letters may not be the best metric to assess quality standards. Here's an excerpt of his conversation with our colleague Archana Shukla.
I would see that the really serious data integrity problems, which are the ones that are willful and that are pervasive in a company, have decreased over time. When I was at FDA and I was in the Center for Drugs in 2013, 2014, there were some well-publicized examples of some pretty strong data integrity problems. Those have reduced over time. So again, with the numbers, one has to be a little careful, but in terms of the very serious cases, the ones that FDA is likely to impose import alerts or take aggressive enforcement action, I think we've seen a reduction in those over time, and I would hope a continuing reduction.
What, according to you, are the 2 or 3 lingering issues that Indian companies are still faltering on when we talk of overall compliance and quality?
We talked about, for example, rates of compliance and warning letters. Yeah. So it still is a fact that the official action indicated rate, which is the most serious of the 3 types of inspections, classifications that FDA gives, or an easier way of saying it is official action indicated inspections are the ones that identify the most serious problems.
Absolutely.
The rate in India is something like 14 or 15% in 2016. In China, it's around 20%. In the US and Europe, it's around 5 or 6%, give or take. And those were 2016 numbers. So you can look at that and you could look at it as a glass half full or a glass half empty. Within the official action indicated, there are very serious issues and some that are less serious. Very serious are import alerts, less serious would be warning letters. Yeah. And I think what you're seeing is, yeah, there's still some work to be done in India, but there is definite progress. It's progress that FDA sees.
Okay, Sadbhav Engineering has gotten an order. They're the lowest bidder for a national highway project, NH24 extension. Nitin Patel is executive director of the company. He's with us. Nitin, thanks very much. Good afternoon. Could you run us through some basic details, size of the order? If you're we're going to do it alone, EPC. I believe EPC order, margins on it, and which one is it? Okay, I think. We have lost the line. We'll try and connect him back in just a bit. Markets have come off a little bit. I mean, just very quickly pointing this out, So we were up 100 points plus. The high is 10,494. We've come up about 25 points in the last, 5 or 7 minutes as we speak. So you can see it very clearly. And the same is true on the Bank Nifty. Not so much in the mid-cap index, but both the Nifty and the Bank Nifty have climbed down just a little bit, not more. Okay, I think we have Nitin Patel back with us of Sadbhav Engineering. Nitin, we were just trying to understand the size of the order, whether you're doing it alone or you have a partner. Some basic details, please.
See, this is a standalone order actually directly in the name of Sadbhav Engineering. So this is a standalone, and the order size is 981 crore. So which is almost 9.46% above the NHAI estimated cost of 896 crores. The construction period for this project is 3 years actually, and this is a pure EPC contract.
And where is the work? This extension is for what area? I mean, this is NH24 extension.
This is the one of the package of Lucknow Ring Road actually. So the length of this package is 32.89 kilometers. So the Lucknow Ring Road is getting, basically the new construction is there. So this is purely a greenfield project. So
pure greenfield, not conversion of state highway to national highway. This is a new project.
It's completely new 4-lane highway is to be constructed.
Okay, interesting. Are you seeing a lot of EPC bids being tendered by the NHAI in the last few months or so? And what is the order inflow looking like now?
Actually, we have started seeing during last 1.5 months, the tender activity has been now picked up. Okay. And we are seeing that almost on an average, a couple of projects, every day there are almost 2 bids are there. And going forward till March 31st, we expect that there will be a heavy intensity of the bids actually. And obviously, this is the period when the order of all the EPCs, normally in Sadbhav and even in Sadbhav infrastructure level also, we are quite optimistic that there will be a sizable order may come basically within both the companies actually.
So you had an order inflow guidance of around 6,000 to 7,000 crores. Do you think you could overshoot that?
See, obviously, it seems that because the series of bids are there, and as of now, with this order, we have almost reached around 6,000 crore for this year. Okay. And still, there are almost around 16 bids we have already submitted, for which these are yet to be opened. And also, we expect that at least around 40 to 50 bids are to be submitted before 31st of March at both the companies' level. So definitely this will overshoot what we understand.
Nitin, very quickly, FY18, what will be the total ordering by NHAI compared to say FY17?
See, comparatively, obviously, last year NHAI did almost around 4,500 to 4,600 kilometers. But this year, as of now, we have to see that by 31st March, how much bids are being accepted by NHAI. But if we transfers, basically, so the total we are expecting almost around NHAI may reach up to 7,000 kilometers by end of FY18.
Okay, Nitin, thanks for joining us. We've run out of time, but it was good speaking with you. That's the word coming in from Sadbhav Engineering. Great time for bulls to be trading in this market because it's at the high point. That's all the time we have on Mid Cap Radar. From Prashant, myself and the entire team, thanks for watching.